Here's something you probably didn't know. Every 3.5 seconds, someone right here in the U.S. loses their phone, and mobile security threats have grown a whopping 350% in just the last 3 years. So the question we're all wondering, how can we keep our information safe? Chris Dunkeson with Comcast, he has the answer. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
Big question. How do we keep information safe on our cell phones? I know on mine I have bank account information, credit card information, even stuff with Fidelity and 401k. That's all right on my phone.
Yeah, all of us don't realize how much information is really on there. The biggest thing really is use a password and make it something other than 1234. You know, every one of my daughter's friends, it's 1234. Bad idea. So make sure it's a password that's a little harder to guess, and in that way it'll lock it up if you lose it in the airport.
You know, I love some of those sites that they tell you how strong your password is when you create it. They say it's weak, and then you got to punch in maybe a number, some capital letters, and some of those symbols up on the top, and then I guess that's what makes a strong password, right?
It really does. Make it a little harder. 1234 is a bad idea.
All right. How much information do we keep on our phones, and could someone get some of that if they were to, say, find your iPhone or your Android that you left somewhere?
They absolutely can. And like you mentioned, a lot of people have credit card information, they have banking accounts, you have your contact list. So it wouldn't be too hard to really take over your whole identity just from someone's iPhone. So that's why the security on the mobile devices is so important.
Okay, password protecting your phone, I imagine that's a good idea. Is that hackable?
Well, it's hackable, but depending on how your phone is set up, you want to have it to where after 10 tries, this thing locks up for 30 minutes. Don't leave it to where they can just sit and guess numbers all day long. Make it a little more difficult.
Okay, and what about on the wireless networks? Like we have them at home. I guess it's a good idea. Have a password on that as well. And do we have to also be worried about using public Wi-Fi networks if we're out and we see one that's free and available?
Yeah, it's a great way. If you're out in an open wireless network is available, it's a great way to check the news, see what's going on in the world. You know, go to casa.com and see what's going on. Don't go to your banking sites. Don't log into your email, because your passwords are readily available to people who know what they're doing. They can see what your password is, then they've got that. A lot of people use the same password for multiple sites, so they're going to do a lot of damage. So if you're on an open network, don't use a password.
Okay, and you talked about like going to these different sites. I know for most of mine, they have like these sign off buttons or log out buttons. Do you have to do that?
Yes.
'Cause I know sometimes I'm lazy and I don't. Is that a bad idea?
It's absolutely worth doing, because otherwise it keeps it open in your cache to where if somebody goes back to that site on your phone, it's still open.
Okay, I know with a lot of phones now, you plug them into your computer, you back up the data. Good idea?
Yeah, absolutely. If you lose your phone, you figure you lose your contact list, you lose a lot of the photos that you may not have a chance to recreate. So yeah, it's worth absolutely backing it up every time.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I see people on Facebook saying, hey, I lost my phone, send me your phone number, because no one writes this stuff down anymore. Everything is right there. I think I know 2 or 3 people's phone numbers, and that's it. Everything else is just in the cell phone.
It's all in your phone. That's exactly right.
Apps. Are these good? Are these bad?
There's lots of great apps out there. The thing to keep in mind is when you're using an app, if it's from a well-known company, it's going to be safe. If it's from a company you haven't heard of, do some more research, because some of these are malware that's not good for you and may be reporting on your activity. It may even be recording your keystrokes. So make sure that when you download, especially the free apps, do a little bit of research. Make sure it's from a well-known company.
Okay, great advice. If folks have Xfinity, they can get protection for their actual cell phones too, right?
That's right. That's part of our Xfinity internet service is Constant Guard Mobile, and it will help you. It avoids malware, it avoids hacking, some of the phishing scams, and it'll help you keep your data safe and hopefully keep your identity safe.
Do you just download this and get this on your website?
Yeah, you can go to Comcast.com or you can get it through iTunes.
Okay, real quick, I want to mention you guys did a great thing last year. I think, what, $1.6 million in donations and in-kind donations to kids' charities?
Yeah,
gotta feel pretty good to be able to do that.
That's the fun part of my job. We get to partner with groups like YDI and the Boys and Girls Clubs. Really great stuff, and be part of the local community.
Okay, and if you don't have Xfinity or you're interested in learning more about this, you can always go to our website at casa.com and figure out more. Chris, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
We'll
Thanks for having me on.